I'm here with Luis Vargas, 2018 state champion for Santa Ana Wrestling. Luis, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's jump into this. This is the Sac Impact. Luis, I just want to ask you first, how did you end up at Santa Ana College, and what made you make that decision to go there?
It's kind of funny. So, out of high school, I loved wrestling, and so I decided to go to the JC. And so, I'm actually from San Jose, California, which is a little bit up north. And so, there was three choices for me up here. It was West Valley, Skyline, or Chabot. And so, I was talking to my wrestling coach, and I told him how I really wanted to continue wrestling, and obviously get a good education along the
Yep.
way. And so, he recommended San Ana. He goes, "Hey, I know it's a little bit out of your way, and I know it's kind of far down south, but Santa Ana has a really good wrestling program. They got a good school, and the coaches are amazing. And so I really thought about it, and I said I do want to continue wrestling, and why not move and get a little change. And so I packed my bags, and I just kind of on a whim just moved down to Santa Ana. And once I met I went one time to go and meet Coach Silva. And once I entered the room, I was like, this is where I need to be, just because I walk in and, you get goosebumps. Like, man, it was hard practice. I seen everybody working hard, and I'm like, wow, like they looked so focused and
Yeah.
dialed in. And, Coach Silva was sitting there directing everybody. And man, I just fell in love, when I walked in. And so that was actually, a major part of why I actually moved. So, Coach Silva, thank you, man. You motivated me from the moment I walked in. So that's probably my key reason.
Yeah, and a lot of people talk about, how great Coach Silva is. Obviously, he's got the background with Oklahoma State. How was it the experience being coached by him, and what kind of things did he teach you along the way?
Yeah, being coached by Coach Silva it was amazing, just because I know that he believes in his wrestlers, and he knows that if he's showing the technique, there's no reason for you to not go out and pull it off, because we have great training partners, we have great coaches, and if you want to be great, you got to push yourself. And so that's one of the things I took in, and I really embraced the grind, and I really love that the just hard work. And even though it was hell sometimes. That's what I love to do. I love to push my body to the limits. And I know with him, he would not only get us there mentally, but he would get us there physically as well. Just all the sprints. Every day we would run, about 3 miles. That's why I think that's why we're in just amazing shape. Every day before practice, we run, and even after that, we would, drill after, just to get that extra set in. And he was always pushing us to be the best. And so that first season when I came in, I was a nobody. To be honest, you know I tried to wrestle. I actually lost my wrestle offs at 149. I got my butt kicked, and the coaches were like, "Hey, maybe you should redshirt a year." And honestly, at that point, I wanted to wrestle so bad. I said, "No, I'll just be the backup." But that's the thing that I feel made me kind of stand out, just because I really wanted to wrestle at all costs. And so I did what I could. And listening to Coach Silva, he really motivated me, and actually molded me to be the fighter I am today. So a lot of thanks goes out to Coach Silva and the
Yeah,
rest of
yeah.
the staff.
Yeah, and I know you had an interesting story. I know you took two terms at Santa Ana. You came, what year was it when you first got there, and what year was it when you finished?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So it was 2010. That was the first year. It was a year that the wrestling team actually took state. So I was a part of that championship team. And so obviously I saw, what it was to be a champion. And we had three state champions that year. I think nine were All Americans. The 10th guy placed fifth. So, that's still a crazy team. And so I came back, 2018. So that's, 8 years later, I decided, hey, man, it's time. I called him up, and I just show up ready to wrestle.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember think that was my first year on the job. And so you came in and you're like, "Hey, can I be the face of the poster?" And I'm like, "Who is this guy?" But you
Yeah.
showed that you are the champ, Just so walk me through that championship season and how, it felt to really come back and grab a championship for Santa Ana.
Yeah, man. Hey, I still remember the day you guys were taking pictures. I said, hey, take this picture, take this, and you're like, yeah, yeah. Man, I didn't even end up on the poster. I was a little upset, I was a little hurt, but it's okay. Things happen, and at the beginning of the year, we're trying to get my, my all my credits and everything, settled in. So it was kind of, we're trying to figure that out at first, and so I was kind of scared. I just came in wanting to wrestle, so it doesn't matter, what happened. I wanted to wrestle. So with Coach Silva and Coach Allen, all the coaches were there. So I was, hey man, whatever happens, happens. If I can't wrestle this season because of because everything didn't happen, so it's fine. I'll just stay here and I'll wrestle next season. But coming in, it was actually a lot of pressure because obviously the coaches they knew me and they were like, oh well, if he's coming back, that means he must win a state champion. Was that state championship because I remember 3 or 4 times I would hear the coaches go, "Oh, this is Luis. He's going to be the state champion," and I would like kind of look at them. Are they playing, or do they really know something? And it was kind of funny because most of the coaches would say that like, "Hey, this is he wrestled back in 2010. He's going to be the state champion this year,"
Yep.
and all the kind of the new guys kind of looked at me like, "Who is this guy?" Because obviously they don't no recollection of me and.
Mm-hmm.
It's understandable. And at that time, obviously, I wasn't in the best shape. So, I come in, a new guy, new face to them, but I worked really hard. I still worked. So, I had a job. So every once in a while, I'd miss practice. And, these guys kind of like, hey, why is he missing practice type of thing. But, when you got a real job, you got real life, you got to kind of handle everything, you got to manage it. But I actually set myself up to succeed just because I knew what I was coming into, and I tried to, do everything accordingly. School, work, wrestling practice. I tried to just just make everything just perfect so it could, work out at the end. And it did at the end of the year. We had maybe 6, 7 guys that would actually come into practice. It was a small group, but those guys that would come in, give it their all. And so that's all I could have asked for, because even though I didn't have anybody exactly my weight class, I had a lot of guys above me and under me that I would, wrestle with. And that helped out, tremendously. So that coming into the state tournament, I knew we were prepared. And, a lot of the guys, I thought they were going to be state champions as well. Things didn't happen the way, we wanted it to, but we had, pretty good showing at the state tournament. The first day, I believe we were in like third or fourth place with 4 guys. And that's kind of unheard of.
Yeah.
We were making, such a, big noise for having such a small amount of guys that, the coach is proud. And that's all that's all I really wanted. I wanted the coach to be proud, and I wanted to represent Santa Ana in a way that, that everyone could be proud of us, So I'm glad it all worked out, state champion 2018.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely proud of you and proud of what you've done since Santa Ana. I know you were on Bellator. You fight from now on. What is that career looking like? How was your experience with Bellator? And then, what are your future goals?
Yeah, I brought that same, wrestling mentality to the cage, and I knew that with hard work, you can succeed. And so I fought Bellator 3 times. I fought for another organization called Combate Americas, which that one was also really, it was a really fun experience. I really want to just kind of dial myself into the fight world and focus in the fight world. It's been kind of hard because of COVID. A lot of the gyms hasn't been the same, but now that we're getting the ball rolling again, I want to get in there, and I really want to make my mark in the MMA world as well. I mean, there's no state champion, but there is a belt contender, and so I know I got to work really hard, but that's my goal. My goal is to be an MMA champion of some sort. I want to fight in any organization. I'm always that type of guy that's ready to scrap, ready to go. So if an organization calls me that's from Japan, I'm packing my bags, I'm going. It doesn't matter where it's at. I always want to compete at the highest level. So if I get a contract with Bellator, man, that'd be amazing. If I get onto UFC contenders show, or just UFC in general, that'd be amazing too. That's really my goal. My goal is to make it to the highest form, to where I can compete and show what I got.
Yep. Well, that's that's an amazing story, Luis, and I congratulations on all your success, and I wish you the best of luck. Anything you would like to add?
No, I just want to, thank everybody who's followed me, helped me out along the way. You've been there, so hey, thank you. All the staff, the people that have been, doing the background work that not everyone sees. Everyone that's made Santa Ana what it is. The AD, everybody, the dean, everybody just, striving to make Santa Ana the best place where you can go to school and compete.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.